What's up, everyone? The crypto market has exploded in adoption, popularity, and price over the last 2 years. And we've started to see this trend emerge where professional athletes are now asking if they can be paid in Bitcoin. I get a lot of questions about this, so I wanted to make a quick video today and talk about who's doing it, why they're doing it, and what might happen next. Let's get right to it. So a lot has happened over the last 2 years. But whether you think it's because governments around the world had to print trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars due to COVID-19, or it's just simply speculative trading, it doesn't really matter because the total value of all crypto assets has ballooned from roughly $200 billion 2 years ago to more than $2 trillion today. And sure, there were some businesses built and some people made money, but ultimately, the exchanges profited immensely from this. Coinbase is a $50 billion company. Cash App, they generate billions of dollars in revenue from crypto trading each quarter. Robinhood, they now make more money from crypto trading than they do from equity trading. And FTX, they went from doing $85 million in revenue in 2020 to more than $1 billion in crypto revenue last year. And what happens when these businesses start generating much more cash from trading? They turn to marketing. FTX has committed hundreds of millions of dollars on partnerships with the Miami Heat, esports franchise TSM, Major League Baseball, and others. Crypto.com is doing the same thing. They just paid $700 million to turn the Staples Center into Crypto.com Arena. And Coinbase, they're now the exclusive crypto provider of the NBA. But these partnerships don't just stop there. Now athletes are getting involved. Number one NFL draft pick, Trevor Lawrence, signed a deal with Blockfolio, where he took a portion of his signing bonus in crypto. Cade Cunningham, he was the number one draft pick in the NBA this year. He signed a deal with BlockFi, where he took his signing bonus in Bitcoin. There's other players like Tom Brady, Stephen Curry, and Shohei Ohtani. They all signed with FTX, taking a portion of their signing bonuses in crypto also. Then you have Saquon Barkley. He announced earlier this year that he was going to be taking all $10 million of his annual endorsement income in Bitcoin specifically. Then there's guys like Rodgers, Odell Beckham Jr, Klay Thompson, and Igoudala. They've all recently announced deals with Cash App, where they'll be taking a portion, if not all, of their salary in Bitcoin. These are fascinating agreements, and they've never been done before in the history of sports. So the question comes up, why are athletes doing this? So I think there's three main reasons why athletes are now asking if they can be paid in Bitcoin. The first and probably the most obvious is inflation. The government here in the United States had to print trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars during the COVID-19 pandemic. The result is record high inflation. Over the last 8 months in a row, we've seen monthly prints come in at 5% or higher year over year. Last month, it was 7%, which was the highest monthly total we had seen in 40 years. Gas is up 50% year over year, housing is up 20 to 30% year over year, and inflation is hitting people hard. Bitcoin is seen as an asset that you can hedge against your purchasing power. So I think athletes have seen that as an example, and they're flooding into digital assets. Secondly, and probably another obvious one, is the combination of endorsement deals with exposure to the asset. So a lot of these are structured as endorsement deals. If you take Cash App, for example, Rodgers, Odell Beckham Jr, Klay Thompson, Igoudala. In most cases, they're actually being paid cash to market these products. So Cash App goes to them and they say, hey, we'll pay you a few $100,000. You will market the product and you will take part of your salary in Bitcoin. We will announce it together. We'll get exposure. You will get exposure and we'll move on. And I think part of this is important because one, they get paid. Two, they get exposure to the industry. So people will say, hey, why are you taking this large of a portion of your salary in Bitcoin? And the reality is it's a very small number when you think about their total assets. So maybe they own real estate, maybe they own stocks, maybe they own bonds, maybe they own currencies, maybe they own commodities. But their overall portfolio, maybe digital assets still represent just 1 or 2, 3 or 4%, a very small portion. And I think every financial advisor would really say that that is good, acceptable risk for them to have. So the combination of getting paid to endorse in cash plus getting some small exposure to the industry, I think is another point that drives this home and makes it a good idea. And the third is just cultural relevancy. I think these athletes want to be seen as financially savvy. They want to be seen as good investors. And Bitcoin is one of those asset classes that has such a rabid fan base where they know if they signal to the world, hey, I'm investing in this asset. I believe in the long-term value of this asset. I've added this asset to my portfolio. They know that all these people are going to rush in and come and follow them. And I think that's an important piece because sure, you're getting money from it. Maybe it's a good investment, but you're also gaining and attracting a completely new audience that you may not have had before. And I think that adds a lot of value to the investment thesis also. Ultimately, this isn't a one-size-fits-all approach. There are hundreds of athletes that have allocated personal capital to the space, and I imagine they all have their own reasons for doing so. More so, I think we're going to continue to see individual leagues, teams, and athletes do this at scale. These crypto companies are only getting bigger, and the data tells us that a sports fan is 2 to 3 times more likely to be interested in crypto than other avenues. So ultimately, these companies are going to continue to funnel money into these partnerships. I'll keep you guys updated on this stuff. I think it's fascinating and it's only going to get bigger. Do me a favor, if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with your friends. I'll talk to you guys soon.